Hey, Kinga here, welcome back to my channel. I'm still traveling. Currently I'm in Hungary, in my hometown, actually at my mom's place, because she just flew off to Nepal last night. I'm gonna be here for a few days and then off to London. So probably you noticed that the setup is slightly better this time. We might have some background noise, some cars passing by and someone doing some gardening in the neighborhood, but I hope that's okay with you. I have noticed something that I could call a recent bad habit of mine. I've been traveling since June, some of you probably know that, and that's not the bad habit. That is something I truly love. It is how I refer to this whole traveling when talking about it to others. For example, when friends and family or anyone, to be honest, asks about what I do, where I live, and I try to explain to them that I'm technically homeless. I don't have an address and just living like a digital nomad and traveling somewhere basically every week, I feel bad. I have this instant shame or guilt because I know how much some people think that traveling and working from your laptop from anywhere is the dream life. And I know how we perceive people who can travel all the time. We think that they are super wealthy and lucky or blessed for being able to travel to new places, like if they were always on holiday, not have to go to any job, just open their laptop and act busy for a few hours a day when they feel like it. And I think I instantly feel bad when I talk about my life being like this. And sometimes I don't even allow myself to enjoy it fully. I don't want people to think that I'm bragging. I don't want to do or say anything to make them feel bad about their lives or make them envy me for mine. Comparison is the thief of joy, as we know. And not once was I talking highly about my life. I always painted a sad picture of it, full of discomfort and the burden of having to live from luggages and not being able to sleep in my own bed, for example. When in fact my bed right now is in a storage somewhere in Stockholm with my other furniture and my clothes and my shoes and other belongings, other personal belongings. And I have this limitless freedom of being able to be almost anywhere, doing almost anything, working when I feel like it. Plus I have no kids or pets to take care of. I live in this vast space of freedom, and yet I am scared to show that I enjoy it. And I was thinking, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel bad for being given the opportunity to live like this right now? Because I'm not going to live like this forever. Why do I feel bad talking about it? Why do I feel bad that I am living in a way I wanted? And it is not just that I feel bad, but I also compensate for all that. I talk about my life to them like if it was shit. I tell them how traveling is good, but I instantly switch to complaining about its disadvantages. Of course, it does have a good side and a bad side to it. There are things I like and things I dislike or don't really like that much about this lifestyle. And me and my partner cannot wait to find a base and create a home for us. But it's also great. But whenever someone asks or I have to explain my situation, I just switch to complaining and complaining about how hard it is. When in reality, I don't see it that way. Yes, there are challenges, but there's also so much to enjoy about it. Even the difficulties help me grow and explore new aspects of myself, often pushing me beyond my comfort zone. And that's something I have learned to embrace in recent years. In fact, I sometimes seek out situations that challenge my comfort zone because my comfort zone is really tiny. And this helps me expand and reduce my limitations. And ultimately, it brings more freedom to my life. But why can I not tell people how exciting it is and how grateful I am for living a digital nomad life, for traveling somewhere new every week, for having overcome my fear of flying? Why can I not talk about it all in a positive light? I realize that I am downplaying my lifestyle when talking about it to others, thinking that this way I make them feel better. This way I am more relatable. But why do I think that my life has to suck to make others feel better? Why do I think that if my life was greater than theirs, it would make them feel bad? What if they would love to hear what a life different to theirs sounds like? What if it was inspirational to them? What if my happiness could rub off on them? And what if it made them happy too? And this just started an avalanche of questions in my head. And I also think that these are all limiting beliefs in my head. Perhaps you have some limiting beliefs or thoughts around your own life or lifestyle too, about how big and loud and happy you can be. Maybe you are not allowing yourself to thrive, be excited, feel amazing, or live life to the fullest. Perhaps you're holding back from experiencing your greatest and truest potential because you are afraid that it might make others feel bad or less worthy or less valuable, less important, less in any ways, or that it would make them feel their life isn't enough. But I also believe that I am responsible for my own emotions, and everyone, for that matter, is responsible for their own emotions. In fact, I even had it tattooed on my arm as a constant reminder because this belief just gives me so much freedom. You cannot blame me for how you feel, and I cannot blame you or claim that you make me feel a certain way. Because you may have said or did something that triggered something in me, but it is me who allows myself to feel a certain way. It's not the weather that bothers you, it's you who bother yourself over the weather. Or it is you who allows yourself to be bothered by what the weather is like. Do you understand the difference? Can you accept the difference? Can you take responsibility for your own emotions? If you can, my friend, that will bring you and the people around you a great sense of freedom. And knowing that I am responsible for my own emotions and feelings and you are responsible for yours, I can also say that the way my life makes you feel about yours has nothing to do with me. If your life makes me feel bad about mine, that is information for me about what is going on in my head. The bad feeling is rooted in my negative self-talk, probably. My insecurities, limiting beliefs, maybe telling me that I believe that I don't deserve it, or that I'm not able to create a life. That's maybe what I think. If your amazing, rich life, full of freedom and happiness makes me feel bad, it should tell me a lot about myself and what I have to work on. If I feel jealousy, then I probably have no love for others and operate from a place of separation and scarcity. Or I'm just jealous because deep inside, that is truly what I also dream about. That's what I wish for myself. So my negative feelings around it kind of serve as a reminder about my true desires. And I should use that as information. When we downplay our lives to avoid making others feel uncomfortable, we might think that we are being kind or relatable. But what if it's actually a disservice to ourselves and others? By minimizing our experiences, we send this message that living fully, being joyful or thriving somehow isn't acceptable. We act as if success or happiness needs to be hidden, fearing that it might make others feel inferior or envious. But what if, instead of holding back, we embraced our journey fully? Not as a way of bragging, but as a way of showing what's possible. What if we allowed our light to shine, knowing that doing so doesn't take away from others, but can actually inspire them? And this realization led me to consider how much of my thinking is shaped by my own limiting beliefs, or maybe other people's limiting beliefs and fears, rather than by what I truly desire. Because when you downplay your life to avoid sounding like you're bragging, you're essentially buying into judgments, either your own or other people's, about what is acceptable or fair to experience? What if we acknowledged that these judgments are not truly ours, and that we have a choice in how we perceive and speak about our life? So next time I make the mistake of downplaying my life, thinking it makes others feel better, I will just ask myself a very simple question. Who does this belong to? Because this question helps you identify if the feelings of guilt or shame are actually yours, or if you are just picking up on others' judgments or perceptions. A lot of times, just asking this question multiple times in a row helps me feel lighter, and the weight of those emotions just simply dissolves and goes away, as I realize that they were never truly mine to begin with. Now, if you have noticed doing the same, I have 2 more tools or questions for you to just ask out loud or silently in your head and let the answer come to you. Do not try to fabricate an answer yourself with your mind. Just let the answer come to you. What would it take for me to have total allowance of myself and others? Allowance means being in a space where you're not reacting to judgments, whether they're positive or negative. It's about accepting all of your experiences without making them right or wrong. So what would it take for me to have total allowance of myself and others? Keep repeating that question. What would it take for me to have total allowance of myself and others? What if I could acknowledge the gift I am to the world without diminishing it? What if I could acknowledge the gift I am to the world without diminishing it? Now, this question helps you acknowledge the value of your choices and experiences without feeling the need to hide or downplay them. By asking these questions and allowing them to sort of shift your perspective, you can begin to let go of the need to justify your lifestyle or make it seem less to fit others' expectations. Instead, you can own your choices with gratitude and enjoy the life that you have created without guilt or shame. And I always say that language is a powerful tool that shapes not only our thoughts and emotions, but also our reality. The way we speak to ourselves and others influences how we perceive the world and our role in it. And I think that every word we choose sends a signal to the universe, reflecting our current vibration and determining what we attract into our lives. When we downplay our lives, we diminish the energy that we are emitting or putting out. But when we speak from a place of gratitude, joy, and authenticity, we amplify our potential. If you're curious about how changing your language can change your life and your whole reality, I've made a video on this very topic with the title, Change Your Language, Change Your Reality. And I will leave the link to it in the description below. So what if you allowed yourself to fully embrace the life that you're living without guilt or apology? What if instead of downplaying your journey, you could just share it proudly, not as a means of boasting, but as a way of showing what's possible when you actually follow your heart? Remember that your light doesn't dim others. It has the power to inspire and uplift. And by living authentically and without fear of judgment, you actually give others the permission to do the same. So as you move forward, ask yourself, how can I celebrate my life today? And in doing so, encourage others to do the same. Now like, share, and subscribe for more, and I hope to see you around. Take care. Bye-bye.